Angela, and today I'll be presenting a topic that I wanted to do research on, which is the banking industry and emerging technologies. So first, we'll delve into the brief overview of what the banking industry is, and then the macro trends that's impacting the global banking industry, and furthermore, emerging technologies in the industry. So first, in the banking industry, there are 4 types of banks. So commercial banks, that's commonly known. So these big 4 banks, you must have bank accounts with it. So commercial banks, and then there's investment banks, which specializes in investment and mergers and acquisition activities. Then central banks, otherwise known as reserve banks, which deals with currency and monetary policy, so federal economic stuff. And then other specialized banks, such as agricultural bank or rural banks. So they serve different purposes, but they have one fundamental concept, which is a trusted institution that has the ability to store value, move money, and access credit. So keep in mind, in order to analyze the macro trend that's impacting the banking industry, we should first look at the top 3 challenges in the banking industry faced by different geographic regions. So for USA and Europe, you can see that regulatory compliance is a major issue there, followed by attracting new customers, which is common around the globe. So you can see the yellow part. And then in Asia Pacific and emerging markets, there's the new market entrants that's coming up as one of the challenges. So first, I'll delve into the customer expectation, which was one of the challenges that was faced globally. First thing would be that external factors that's affecting the customer expectations. So you can say that this is shaped by the interactions outside of the banking industry. So when you see iPhone 11 and Samsung foldable phones, customers expect that banks should be up to that level of tech savviness, but that's not always the truth. And also social media, which is widely used, and it can be said that the smallest piece of noise can be amplified massively and instantly. So that's obviously social media.
Great quote.
Yep. And so another factor that's contributing to the customer expectation would be demographics. So with the increase in life expectancy, banks should be focusing more on wealth management and retail brokerage side of things. So that's another thing that's affecting the customer expectations. Another challenge was new market entrants. This was faced in emerging markets and Asia Pacific countries. And PwC report said that we will see ever more competition from non-bank players. And this is where I want to bring in China, because within this top 20 worldwide internet leaders today, 9 of the Chinese companies are within this technology worldwide companies. And one of the technology that I wanted to introduce was Yuebao. So this app allows users to deposit, withdraw, or transfer money online free of charge. And I told you to keep in mind the fundamental concept of bank, which was to store value, move money, and access credit. So they have similarities. Basically, yeah, it can be replaceable. So the most successful deposit product in the world today, the most successful being Yuebao, doesn't involve humans, and this is completely automated. So another technology would be mobile payments. 98% of mobile payments go through 2 technology platforms, which is Alipay and WeChat. And in 2018, $12 trillion were transferred through these mobile payments. And in this year, China's mobile payments transaction traffic will pass all of the card traffic of the world. So that's something to be aware of. It's very disruptive.
Afraid of.
Yeah, afraid of. Yeah. And Mary Mika puts it, Chinese local services are becoming super apps. So it's, for example, Alipay, with more than 200,000 programs and more than 1 billion users, this is very disruptive. Whereas traditional banks, they're up to just focusing on current production and services, optimizing them. And we're just waiting for enhanced data capture and analysis for more targeted customer offerings and improved services. And in the near future, we're expecting third-party banking partnerships with intermediaries, meaning different banks would share their resources and utilities. Instead of what we're doing right now is cross-border banking partnerships, which is just different regions, different branches coming together to share resources. So in order to understand the future of the technologies, we want to see what was done before. The first banking technology invented was by the Bank of America in 1950s to automate banking bookkeepings. It's called IRMA. This was followed by 1960s ATM, which we all know of, to withdraw money anytime. And then there comes online banking in 1990s to bank anywhere, anytime, and then mobile banking. And now, in 2019, we have all these fintech companies, fintech ecosystem, like robo-advisors, blockchain, digital banks. Accenture published a report listing the technologies that will have the greatest impact on the banking sector over the next 3 years. And they named it DARQ, DARK. D stands for Distributed Ledger Technology. So it's commonly known as blockchain technology. So blockchain technology is an overarching system that undermines Bitcoin, and then cryptocurrency. So in banking, DLT adoption is only marginally behind AI at 41%. So this is catching up. Everyone knows AI and everyone uses AI. So in order to understand this, we should look at some key features. Traditionally, we use centralized ledger. So there's this financial institution that acts as an intermediary to transfer all the transactions and approve all of them. But for blockchain and distributed ledger, there's no intermediaries. So it only uses smart contract. That's an agreement. Am I going too fast? Sorry.
No, you're right.
Yeah. So it's a agreement that's hard-coded in. So it's automatically executed, and it's also transparent because they're all seen. Whereas here, it's just this one intermediary just approving and everything. But in here, it's all flowed through and transparent, and it's not erasable because it's hard-coded in. So it's immutable. So all of these benefits is why the banking industry is experimenting with this type of technology. And A stands for artificial intelligence, which everyone knows of, everyone heard of AI. But does anyone know what AI actually means? Like, does anyone know the definition of AI?
The doom to humanity.
What?
That's from a cynical point of view. Anyone from a
Yes, right. So a collection of technologies that can solve problems without explicit human guidance. So something like computer vision used by Tesla Autopilot, or natural language processing used by Apple Siri, or optimization and decision support by Google Maps. So all of this type of technology is encompassed within the artificial intelligence technology. And AI is now a general purpose tool with 100% adoption by key business processes. So everyone uses it and everyone's heard of it.
Is it machine learning? Is that what you?
Yeah, machine learning is one. So R stands for extended reality, XR. You can see in the diagram, XR is an overarching concept encompassing VR and AR. So everyone knows VR, but AR, does anyone know AR?
Pokemon Go.
Yes, well, just now. Yeah,
I've
so
seen it. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so that's an example of, it's a mixture of virtual world and reality. But this is currently seen as having minimal impact on banking, but 34% of banking executives still indicate its adoption in one or more business units. So this is still ongoing, and one of the use cases was using VR to do training for the employees. Q stands for quantum computing. So this emerging technology exponentially increases available computing power. But this is furthest from full maturity and not a priority for most banks. Because this is a new technology. But
Still on test. This one is still on test.
yeah. But like Barclay, there are a lot of banks who's putting resources into experimenting with this technology. Lastly, 5G is another technology that will have an impact. So if you look at this hype cycle for emerging technologies, it's on the top of peak of inflated expectations. And just like other
Sorry, I was just reading the trough of disillusionment.
like other industries, 55% of banking executives anticipate that 5G will have a significant impact on their industry within 1 to 3 years. So this is something to watch out for as well. I mean, they're already experimenting with it. So I gave you a lot of technologies to think about, but I don't think you should be overwhelmed with all this rapid technology advancement, because fewer than 20% of executives feel well prepared for the future. So it's fine to be lost at this stage, but I found this quote from the report from Department of Industry, Innovation and Science. It said, you need to shift your thinking from having a career for life to maintaining the skills needed to adapt to changing opportunities. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.